Alright, ladies, gentlemen, and kitties, thanks to Go AZ Motorcycles here in Peoria, Arizona, and Triumph Motorcycles of North America, today I will be taste testing the fabulous Triumph Speed Triple RS, the 1050 version. Alright, let's get it on. And the switch is somewhere around here. And look at how it introduces it to you. Very nice. So this will be my first time riding this bike, and it's gonna be nuts. So this is the 1050 version. I have almost zero to no knowledge about this bike, but thanks to Go AZ, I get to ride this bike. Basically, basically this is the more ferocious version of the street triple that everyone is used to. Oh, the clutch is almost right at the middle, and of course, before we go, ergonomics check. I'm 6'3", 200 to 220 pounds, with a 32-inch inseam and a size 13 foot. Easy, naked bike style ergonomics here. So here we go. So this is the Speed Triple RS, also known as the top of the line version of the 1050 line. It already sounds ferocious already. And they said that this bike has a quick shifter, which is nice, very nice. But I'm gonna demonstrate to you guys on how this bike feel like without using it. The rear brakes is a little bit the rear brakes is very tactile, doesn't have much play in it, which is cool. And it sounds ferocious. The front brakes is a little bit mushy, has a lot of play, but other than that, it's very easy to modulate. The clutch lever has it doesn't have that much spring resistance, so it's basically very easy to use it for stop and go traffic. But the shift, the gear selector has that little, it's a little bit notchy. You have to plop it down harder, or if you want to shift up, it takes a little bit more effort. So if you have a soft shoe whatsoever, it's not gonna be as easy. The grab bite is right around in the middle towards the release area, and so far so good. The riding position is almost similar to the S1000R or the Aprilia Tuono, a little bit slightly aggressive compared to some neutral riding position, like let's say the MT10 basically. Right now I'm in here in Arizona, and it's completely different simply because I was expected to have a triple digit temperature around here and without any drizzle. Right now it's a little bit overcast, very heavy clouds with rain all over the place. So I gotta be very careful. This bike has a quick shifter and all-in shocks, and it has a lot more toys compared to the regular R model. There's so many modes that this bike has that I'm not gonna even touch it. The only thing I'm gonna tinker with is the quick shifter. So for the quick shifter, it blips it a little bit. It cuts off the fuel. It's not as instantaneous as the S1000R, but it's a very handy feature if you're just gonna commute in a slow streets like this, in a very slick streets. So I'm just gonna be very careful. Downshifts, on the other hand, is instantaneous, almost like a BMW level intensity. Very easy, very quick. Unfortunately, due to my skills, I'm not gonna push this bike to the point of stupidity. I'm just gonna take it a little easy on it. This side mirrors are a nice touch. Instead of being high right here, it's a little bit outside. Like most people, they want to soup up their bikes, they put handlebar and side mirrors. I like this bike actually. So far I haven't ridden a bad Triumph yet. I've ridden the Tiger and the 1200, the 800 and the 1200 Tiger, and the Speedmaster too, the Bonneville. I haven't ridden a bad Tiger yet, just like KTM's in relation. So far comfort level is very roomy. Oops, I see a slick. It's very roomy, very accessible. It doesn't cramp you up like a traditional sport bike, but it's not as aggressive it's not as aggressive as a Tuono per se. It's almost similar to the very balanced S1000R. Low speed ability on this bike is very good. So you can take this to an MSF course and just have fun with it. This engine sounds nice. I can really hear it really well, even with the earplugs on. I'm not even gonna push this bike in because this bike is still too new. It hasn't been broken in yet. I like this touch right here. Speed Triple R S 1050. Let's see how this bike goes. Ferocious. And I'm being very delicate on it right now. I'm having fun with this bike right now. Also, another thing that I noticed, if you're wearing a very short cut shoe, you might feel some heat emanating on your right foot a little bit. Just a little bit. Not, if you have a medium cut or a very aggressive Alpine Stars, you won't have a problem with it. Damn, this bike is very very aggressive. Oh boy. The upshift blip isn't as instantaneous as what I said compared to the BMWs or even some Aprilias, but it's more than enough for most people. I gotta be very careful on this slick roads. See, I can see some drizzles on my visor right now. It's a perfect time to ride, despite the drizzling right now going on here in Peoria, Arizona. They just gave me a very short route, so I'm just glad that I've ridden this bike for all of you guys for me to share. Yeah, the front brake levers has a lot of play, but the rear brakes is a little bit better. It has some dirt bike style front brake movement, so that's pretty good thing. It's a little bit more reassuring instead of making it a little bit instantaneous and scary. You can go overside right away. Very nice bike. Oh, if I have the money, I'll buy one. Oops, you went to neutral. Okay. Very bassy. It shouts at you. It gives you a little bit more. It delivers some passion that you want in a motorcycle. And the good thing about this bike is, so far as I've ridden it even for a short time, is that you don't feel the weight of this bike, which is basically amazing in some degree. You really don't. You don't really feel the weight with this bike as you go along. Even if you crawl it backwards like this, we're back at the dealership by the way, you just don't feel the weight. It's so light and flicky, as if I'm riding a 300cc naked bike, on which in this part of the United States it doesn't exist. The TFT gauge in front of you, if it detects that you're in the shade, it will turn dark and everything. It was a short ride, but doesn't matter. As long as I ride this bike, that's all that matters. 300 miles just to ride this bike. I came from Vegas and everything, but I don't care. Fact of the matter is, I get to ride a bike like this, even though it's 300 miles away. This one has LEDs in here. I don't know if you can see it right there. And then it has that trick Olin suspension, front and rear. It has some ride modes that I'm not gonna dabble to it. And this one has an arrow exhaust. See, it has two arrow exhaust on this side and on the other side. Pretty much, it looks like an Aprilia at some degree. Single-sided swing arm, coolness factor initiated on that one. If you guys notice that I turned this knob on right here, is that it doesn't have a push button just like some other naked bikes. You have to twist it from here. So it has that Bonneville feel into it, like those classic Bonneville where you put the ignition underneath you and then you just turn the ignition on and there goes you go. So it has that trick suspension. I like the wheels. I like the red highlights and everything here. I think you guys saw the specs on this bike by then. But this is the RS model, the 1050 Speed Triple R. Beautiful bike. Oh my gosh. If it feels light, I've never felt a more than 1,000cc bike that's this light. It feels lighter than the S1000R, the Tuono, the GSX-S 1000, the MT10. They did a good job with this bike, and I've never ridden a bad Triumph yet. So just like the KTM, Triumph is almost synonymous in my opinion already as no bad bikes yet. So there you go. This is the Triumph Speed Triple 1050 RS. You can see that, RS. Alrighty, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.